Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University of Central Lancashire, I'm delighted to warmly welcome you to Preston Guild Hall and to this graduation ceremony. On this special day, we are here to proudly celebrate the achievements of our students from the Faculty of Business, Law and Applied Social Studies. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mike Thomas, to give his address.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the University Board, Honorary Fellows, and our graduates. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony at which we acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of our new graduates and postgraduates. I always look forward to the graduation ceremonies themselves and the chance for the University of Central Lancashire, its staff, board members and honorary fellows to celebrate such an important day for you and your families and friends. This is your day. I hope you enjoy both the ceremony itself and the celebrations, which I know will continue afterwards. It's customary for a Vice-Chancellor to use graduation as an opportunity to comment on economic affairs, politics, or to speak about the university in general. But I want to say a few words to you, our graduates and postgraduates, so I hope the audience will forgive me. Here we are in July 2017, a year on from the referendum that concluded that the UK should leave the European Union. Since then, we've had a general election and we now have a minority government. Many of the radical policies that were put forward by all the main political parties have had to be diluted and watered down into a more collaborative, collegiate form in order to withstand parliamentary scrutiny. The staff at the university have analysed the results of the general election, and what's become clear as I look at you all today in your robes and your gowns and as you celebrate your success and your talent is that your voice, the voice of our students across England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, had a hugely influential impact on the outcome of the general election in June. Your voice, the voice of students and young adults who argued for change, to move away from austerity towards more tolerance, more understanding, and a more compassionate form of politics. Your votes really did carry the day, and no political party can ignore your voice any longer. I would argue that one should never underestimate the experiences that you've had in this university and the way it shapes your thinking and how it will influence your future. Next year, 2018, the university celebrates being in existence for 190 years. We've grown from the original foundation, the Institute for the Diffusion of Knowledge, first formed on the 7th of October 1828 here in the city of Preston, and based on a radical idea to educate young people. And the university has continued to always been part of a radical movement in education, learning, knowledge, research, innovation and enterprise. And today we recognise that our mission to transform lives and expand knowledge and retain that spirit of radicalism, innovation and creative thinking continues to play a part in reducing the current uncertainty. The University of Central Lancashire has both an anchor and a civic role. Anchor and civic roles are just shorthand that we use in the higher education sector. By anchor, I mean an economic role, and by civic, I mean supporting our community. Our anchor role is to promote economic development, to create jobs, to help firms, and to ensure that the skills and expertise required for a developing economy are there. Equally, our research, enterprise and developments are often focused on the economy of our communities. But we have an equally important civic role to uphold community cohesion, to promote and develop peaceful means of dealing with social issues, problems or difficulties, the sort of issues that you as graduates and postgraduates have been dealing with. And we support our Lancastrian culture through music, arts, food, farming, the agricultural community and tourism. And we do this because we believe that the University of Central Lancashire is here to ensure that the people in Lancashire, our community, have a sense of place, of engagement and of belonging. This afternoon, we celebrate the graduates and postgraduates from the Faculty of Business, Law and Applied Social Studies, ably led by our Executive Dean, Professor Aidan Worsley, and his Head of Schools. Two of the staff that you will know will be reading the names this afternoon: Andrea Ferguson from the Centre of Excellence in Learning and Teaching, and Jez Buffin from the School of Social Work, Care and Community. So I'd just like to say a few words about you. School of Social Work, Care and Community, I'd like to congratulate Simon Jones. Simon graduates today with a first in social work. As a parent, a mature student of 3 children, and having previously served in the Army for 21 years, Simon was certainly academically ring rusty when he enrolled with us. Through sheer determination, he has embraced all aspects of the university experience and has been rewarded by gaining full-time employment with Lancashire County Council Child Safeguarding Team. In the Centre for Excellence in Learning and Teaching, congratulations to Sheehan Walters, who graduates today with an education and psychology degree. Not only does Sheehan graduate with the first-class honours, but she will also collect the Jim Lane Prize for outstanding commitment to academic scholarship. There will be other prizes. We don't often name you in advance. Our success is achieved together. Staff and students seeking new knowledge to provide clarity and certainty. There are a few things we do know, even though we live in uncertain times. We know today that you are graduates and postgraduates. We know you work for your degree. We know there's a sense of certainty if you hold on to those beliefs and values that support and promote our communities. The values that are enshrined in this university: common sense, the judgment to do the right thing for others, compassion, to treat others with consideration, care and honesty, teamwork, to think and act together, valuing collective as highly as individual achievements, attention to detail, to take personal and professional pride in the quality of your work, but show you can listen and care for others as you carry out that work, and trust, showing respect and integrity in all that you do. If there are children crying in the audience, please don't worry. We're a very collaborative university. We just see them as our future students. So please don't feel any pressure at all to leave the room. I'll carry on talking, and it's a good noise to hear. They're our future generation. Please don't be embarrassed. You are graduates and postgraduates, so observe, analyze, devise new solutions to the things that life bring you. Keep learning, exercise your intellect, be ready to intervene as you go on with your life, and seek to make a difference. Make the most of every opportunity that comes along. Don't be afraid or unwilling to try different things. Forge your own path, but equally be ready to compromise when you need to, and show a bit of kindness to others as you go through your life. We know some other things about you as our graduates and postgraduates today. We know you have the ability to understand complex issues. We know you can be critical. We know you have the confidence to challenge things. We know you have developed your own personal values about the society in which you live. We know this because we've tested you, we've assessed you, you have reached the grade that you are here today to receive. And we therefore look to you. You are our future hope. So participate in processes, debates, organisations, and the world in which we live in. What we've tried to do in the university is provide a space for you to discuss ideas, to pursue different views and perspectives, to explore new ways of doing things and apply different methodologies to seek new solutions. But just remember, there's more to your degree than a reductionist economic return. Take those values I mentioned with you. We also know that gaining the awards you have earned today, and which we celebrate, is difficult. I make no apologies for that. That must be so. Few things in life of genuine value are easy to gain, and success in any university is far from easy. The university would have demanded from you dedication, commitment, intellectual endeavour, and hard work. And I'm sure that many of you here in the audience today, families, friends, colleagues, would have been called upon to provide a helping hand in that journey. So on behalf of you, our graduates, I would like to thank you for that invaluable support and ask that our graduates join me in sharing our appreciation to you. We process through the hall in our colourful gowns and hats, looking like something out of Harry Potter. And we look at you in your gowns and hats, looking fantastic, if you don't mind me saying so. And we do that because we are an academic community. We want to show to the world that we are dedicated to learning and supporting the transformation of lives. You would have been taught by a dedicated group of academic staff, many of whom are international leaders in their field, and all of them devote their professional lives to the teaching, learning, and development of our students. And you would have been supported by many highly dedicated professional staff who have provided the services and infrastructures that have made your success in the university possible. So once again, on your behalf, I would like to ask you to join me to thank every one of our staff and thank me in with your applause. Not too long now, we'll call you all out, one by one. You will be called out as graduands. You'll come onto the stage on my right, you'll walk to the middle of the stage, I'll shake your hand and congratulate you, and you'll exit stage left. And we call you out name by name to show how much we respect and value the achievements that you've done and which we celebrate today. I know everybody in the hall will be as enthusiastic with your applause for our first graduate as you will be for our final graduate. We take genuine pride in your achievements. I'm confident you'll go out into the world and bring not only real social and economic benefit to yourself, but also to the communities in which you will live. Whatever you decide to do next, wherever in the world you find yourself, remember, you'll always be a member of this university. I hope at some stage you will return to your academic home. But for now, on behalf of everybody here, very well done, congratulations, and good luck for a happy and successful life. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Academic Board confers an Honorary Fellowship to Gerison Lansdown. Louise Cogan, the University Orator, will deliver the citation.
Vice-Chancellor, there is no doubt that Gerison Lansdown will be a fantastic ambassador for the University of Central Lancashire, having been an exceptional representative for children and young people for the past 20 years. the international children's rights consultant and advocate, is currently chair of Child to Child, senior associate of the International Institute for Child Rights and Development in Victoria, a trustee for the Global Initiative to End All Corporal Punishment of Children, and former vice chair of UNICEF UK, as well as publishing and lecturing widely on children's rights. Her career began with a role in social work and progressed to a policy and parliamentary lobbying role with the National Association of Citizens Advice Bureau. In 1992, Gerison was appointed to head the Children's Rights Development Unit, working to promote UN Convention on the Rights of the Child in the UK, and which later became the Children's Rights Alliance for England. She was actively involved in the negotiations that led to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. It is a further measure of Gerison's distinction and reputation that she has been asked to write for the United Nations Committee on the Rights of Children and Adolescents. We've already been fortunate enough to benefit from Gerison's well-established connection to the Centre for Children and Young People's Participation, and we're delighted to have her lead our recent groundbreaking seminar series on children as agents of social change. Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of the Academic Board, it is with great pleasure that I present Gerison Lansdown for the award of Honorary Fellow of the University of Central Lancashire.
I want to start by thanking the University of Central Lancashire for the honour that you're bestowing on me today. I really am both humbled and extraordinarily appreciative of what it represents. And I'd also like to offer my congratulations to every one of you here receiving a degree today, a wonderful testimony to your talent, to your hard work, to your creativity, and your opportunities for the future. But my greatest pleasure in receiving this honorary fellowship is in its recognition of my driving agenda, which is the human rights of children, embodied in 1989 in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. The Convention was a critical landmark, establishing unequivocally that children, like adults, have human rights, with corresponding duties on governments to respect, protect, and fulfill those rights. Most radically, and indeed uniquely, it recognizes the right of children to be listened to and taken seriously in all matters that affect them. But despite the near universal ratification, far too many governments are still failing to live up to the promises they've made. As you will know, millions of children are still denied access to justice, forced into marriages they do not want, conscripted as soldiers, sold into bonded labor. Schools all over the world continue to use violence and silence rather than listen to children. Far too many children are migrants and refugees with little or indeed no hope for the future. And it's not just in the developing world. More and more children in this country are living in poverty, in poor or insecure or indeed no housing at all. Schools and health services are desperately inadequately funded to provide effective services. We continue to witness horrific exposés of violence, sexual abuse and exploitation of children in Rotherham, in Rochdale, in the Catholic Church, in the Jimmy Savile saga. And a relentlessly similar message emerges from every single investigation into those abuses. Children were systematically silenced, ignored, and disbelieved. No one was listening. But we cannot protect children unless we hear their voices. Denying them a voice protects only the abusers. And unfortunately, we are witnessing a rising rhetoric of hostility to human rights. Much of our press in this country, and indeed many of our politicians, would have you believe that human rights simply serve to protect terrorists and criminals. There's continuing talk of abolishing the Human Rights Act, and children's rights are commonly vilified and dismissed. But human rights, including children's rights, matter. They provide the values and the normative framework to guide the way we engage with each other as human beings, and through which to address complex societal challenges. They offer protection to the most vulnerable and marginalized, placing obligations on governments to act and mechanisms for us as citizens to hold them to account. They're rooted in a commitment to reciprocity. They're a foundation on which to base our laws, our policies, and wider international commitments. The Grenfell Tower disaster exemplifies their importance. What that horrific experience demonstrated is that without a voice or meaningful participation, without access to power, without accountability, without transparency, and without a foundation of commitment to the equal value of all lives, all fundamental principles of human rights, the most marginalized people are ignored and will and have suffered. And children, as the least powerful individuals in any society, will suffer the most. So it's the goal of fighting for a world where these values of justice, dignity, equity, and accountability prevail that's motivated my work for the past 40 years. And as such, it really is an extraordinarily great pleasure to be associated with UCLan, and in particular the Centre for Children and Young People's Participation, which is making such a positive contribution towards those goals. And I hope that some of you and the successes you're celebrating today will take you too in the direction of joining us in this demanding but hugely important struggle. Thank you very much.
Vice-Chancellor, the presentation of graduands and award holders will now take place.
On behalf of the Academic Board, I present those who have gained awards in the Centre for Excellence in Learning and Teaching. For the Award of Professional Doctorate in Education, Ridwana Gurji. Susan Laura Ramsdale. Postgraduate Certificate in Education and Training, Mustafa Alawi Abdullawi. Rashida Ali. Gemma Claire Anderton. Frank Balassa. Magdalena Bautenbach, Russell Beeston, Louise Berry, Nicola Bradshaw, Michael Brennan, Paula Carruthers, Jade Victoria Chasty, Charlotte May Chatters, Edward Robert Cox, Emily Rose Curtis, Rachel Naomi Dabekin, Felicity Hope Dugdale, Emily Fagan, Lorraine Flannery, Edward Wilson Foulds, Georgia Gowdy, Aston Melanie Gilbert, Emily Groom, Chloe Charlotte Harris, Elizabeth Hartley, David Thomas Hughes, Katrina Kelly, Richard Kennedy, Pierre Conje, Jennifer King, Laura Cowlock, Matthew David Landers, Timothy Lloyd, Nosheen Mahmood, Amanda Mannering, Gemma McCleary, Jenna McKenna, Lukas Miecznikowski, Catherine Jane Nixon, Laura Newman, Hirendra Bhagwanji Patel, Gemma Marie Elizabeth Pearson, Thomas David Pilkington, Sonia Ramzan, Amy Riley, Gail Dorothy Ross, Tahib Mohammed Shaza Safraz, Isabel Smith, Anthony Robert Thilwind, Jennifer Helen Tickle, Sarah Jane Claire Towers, Anne-Marie Tunstall, Carlos Vacha, Rahana Karim Uddin, Catherine Wetton, Susie Jensen, Postgraduate Certificate in Teaching and Learning in Higher Education, Samantha Greyer, Amy Prescott, Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Education and History, Daniel Barnes, Lucy Margaret Collins, Matthew Elwes, Sarah Jane Patterson, Laura Ann Shelton, Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Education and Professional Studies, Michael Appleton, Jennifer Bailey, Angela Beresford, Georgina Berry, Janine Bragg, Bethany Branford, Jennifer Marie Burns, Jordan Lee Craven, Philippa Daniels, Adam Dawes, Stacey Edwards, Terry Foster, Mark Gradwell, Alison Jane Gramauskas, Kathleen Heckford, Jessica Pearl Hoey, Nicole Holt, Katie Cassandra Horn, John Paul Johnson, Kelly Marie Jones, Lindsay Jones, Taslim Kauser, Jeanette Marie Kemp, Fajana Banu Kolia, Zakwan Lely, Nadia Patel, Rachel Louise McMahon, Georgina Rose Monaghan, Eliza Mary O'Hare, Rahima Mohammed Hanif Omar, Tracy Peat, Janet Rooney, Stephanie Leanne Scott, Farah Shah, Stephanie Smith, Hazel Stanton, Grant Tebay, Elizabeth Catherine Thompson, Emma Elizabeth Turner, Christina Alice Waite, Emma Louise Webb, Julie Wilson, Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Education and Psychology, Hayley Allen, Charlotte Graham, Eve Nicole Harvey, Chloe Jane Poole, Samira Shahid, with the Jim Lane Prize for Outstanding Commitment to Academic Scholarship, Sian Walters, Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Education and Sociology, Michelle Butterworth. Certificate in Education, Education and Training, Casey Adlard. Kimberly Ball. Lucy Broadhead. Katie Brooks. Nicola Burnett. Mark Cassinelli. Gemma Close. Joseph Conley. Joanne Coughlin. Elizabeth Ann Coulton. Janie Cowley. Anne-Marie Cullen. Danielle Denton. Amy Doherty. Benjamin Joseph Duffy. Rodney William Duval. Alan Finnerty. Emma Greer. Natalie Hamilton. Elaine Hanna. Anna Maria Harrison. Stephen Hendrick. Natalie Higgins. Philip John Hoare. Laura Ellen Jones. Caitlin Marie Keller. Anisha Rani Khan. Natalie Kajowski. Amy Leyland. Emma Long. Joanne McPartlin. Christopher Kenneth Nixon. Eleanor O'Connor. Sharon O'Donnell. David John Percy. Victoria Powell, Charlotte Elizabeth Rimmer, Jenny Rooney, Kimberly Ruddick, Ryan Rushworth, Emma Louise Taylor, Fiona Thompson, Adam Lee Tyson, Elisa Honora Warburton, Claire Watson, Emma Wilson, Lucy Wright, Certificate in Teaching, Learning and Assessment, Cheryl Whelan, That concludes the presentation of awards from the Centre for Excellence in Learning and Teaching.
School of Social Work, Care and Community. On behalf of the Academic Board, I present those who have gained awards in the School of Social Work, Care and Community. For a thesis entitled Teenagers' Experience of Domestic Violence Refuges, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Kelly Ann Bracewell. For a thesis entitled Children and the Transformation of Schools, Enabling Participation Through Intergenerational Work, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Deborah Jane Crook. Master of Arts in Community Leadership, Dean Edwards, with the School Prize for Best Dissertation, Gillian Granger. Jackie Ann McCartney. Nadia Paveen. Najma Shah. And Master of Arts in Social Work, Ruxana Ali. Catherine Smith. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Children's Schools and Families, Anisa Akhtar. And with the School Prize for Best Dissertation, Naila Ali. Sanya Ali. Saba Ayaz. Sophie Bidet. Robin Barbrook. Sherna Begum. Sean Bell. Chloe Brown. Emma Burden. Carolyn Burton. Courtney Casson. Amanda Lauren Charlesworth. Atlanta Clayton. Amy Louise Cornwell. Carly Cunliffe. Hayley Derry. Christopher David Devereaux. Emily Sian Drummond. Rebecca Drummond. Claire Dugdale. Molly Duncan. Joy Ellis. Evelyn Grace Fisher. Amy Jade Foden. Stephanie Gorton. Matthew Green. Victoria Jane Green. Aisha Hansrod. Rebecca Hendrickson. Jessica Hilton. And with the school prize for outstanding achievement in children, schools and families, Michelle Humphreys. And with the prize for best dissertation, Sharon Mary Eileen Irvin. Leanne Jackson. Deborah Elaine Jones. Melissa Jane Jones. Hanifa Kantharia. With the prize for outstanding achievement in children, schools and families, Suntosh Kaur. With the school prize for best dissertation, Umara Khan. Jade Elise Kieft. Amara Makdar. Zoe Christina Miles. Harriet Miles. Hope Elizabeth Nightingale. Ellie Norris. Rebecca Louise O'Loughlin. Lauren Parkinson. Alison Sian Parry. Samantha Elizabeth Pearce. Helen Porter. Christina Pratt. Heather Louise Price. Gabrielle Reynolds. Demi Nelson. With the School Prize for Best Dissertation, Nicole Jade Robinson. Gemma Savage. Michelle Sharp. Abby Shepherd. Melissa Talon. Keely Taylor. Bethany Lauren Unsworth. Tasneen Varhead. Rebecca Louise Watson. And with the School Prize for Outstanding Achievement in Children's Schools and Families, Emma Deborah White. Chloe Hayley Louise Williams. Emily Jane Wilson. Melissa Wood. Megan Woods. The Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Community and Social Care Policy and Practice, Anna Louise Airy. With the School Prize for Best Dissertation, Bethany Atherton. Cecily Atkinson. Emmy Bennett. Sophie Berry. Charlotte Bradshaw. Emma Mary Burrows. Jessica Davis. Nicola Claire Dundavan. Heather Fisher. Cheryl Folan. Megan Rose Lauren Forrest. Leah Goff. Laura Jane Graham. with the school prize for Best Community Project, Pamela Claire Hargreaves. Lorna Hilton. Amy Hobbs, Lancashire. Farouk Kamal. Taylor Main. Elizabeth Hooton. Danielle Hudson. Leanne Jackson. Christina Kelly. Hannah Kennedy. Takutsva Godwin McConey. Charlie Veronica Martin. Bibusa Misukwa. Bekazela Nkube. Melanie Passerini. Amy Roberts. Catherine Rinn. Catherine Shaw. Sitabile Fungai Shunda. Joanne Thorpe. Kelly Rachel Ward. Elliot Jake Holden. Francesca Louise Warder. Adam Weaver. Jack Whitbread. Danielle Wilson. Debbie Young. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Community Leadership, Deborah Joy Bradshaw. Victoria Kelly. Lugemba Michaela. Anthony McColry. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Social Care Studies, Philippa Louise Wilson. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Social Policy and Sociology, Gemma Louise Court. Amanda Roberts. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Social Work, Iona Eve Adamson. Nazish Ahmed. Saima Arshad. Nicola Ashton. Jodie Ball, Lauren Robin Bennett, Amy Jade Blundell, Lucy Grace Bott, Hannah Bradley, Syed Bukhari, Sonia Berry, Leanne Carr, Martina Carr, Natalie Clare, Sarah Jane Clegg, Jessica Dean, Katie Devlin, Rachel Ellie Day, Daniel Joseph Duxbury, Heather Louise Ferguson, with the Dion Caldwell Award for Best Social Work Practice, Sarah Flanagan. Caroline Lee Foley, Sophia Cherry Fulks, Ebony Gardner, Danielle Garnett, Ella Jane Susanna Haig, Kerry Hardman, Ashley Robert Harper, Kristen Paul Harper, Nicola Rachel Hayton, Michaela Henry, Natalie Hollingworth, Holly Victoria Holt, Sarah Huff, Chantel Hudson, Lorraine Idden, Saskia Inkledon, Chloe Jones, Simon Jones, Jenna Joseph, Michelle Kerrigan, Kaylee Lease, Gemma Louise Martin, Chloe Louise Mitchinson, Amy Lee Moore, Ruth Lauren Moore, Rachel Moran, Peace Kagiso Mormon, Lucy Malarkey. Jordan Murphy. Daisy Nazir. Sophia Elizabeth Newman. Janet Louise O'Rourke. Barbara Opie. With the Brian Corby Memorial Award for Best Dissertation, Stacey Loanne Nightingale. Rosalind Nyorogi. Yasmin Ojefatemi. Rachel O'Keefe. Ruth Oronse. Rebecca Jane Peat. Robin Elizabeth Proud. Ashley Ryan. Charlie Ryan. Sephora Samuel. Catherine Scholes. Emma Syme. Gillian Singer. Roland Saziba. Amber Catherine Smith. Amy Smith. Danielle Stobbs. Andrea Suthers. Suzanne Carley Taylor. Shannon Louise Thomas. Adil Vali. Stephanie Vickers. Carmen Webb. Sherry Wellsby. Melissa Wright. Emma Yeo. Dion Caldwell was a determined and much admired student who unfortunately died in May 2016. We're awarding a diploma in higher education and social work, awarded posthumely to Diane Caldwell, which will be collected by family members. Foundation degree in arts in children, young people and their services. Kelly Anderson. Sarah Elizabeth Barlow. Hayley Kathleen Beanland. Rosie Bishop. Deanne Claire Bowl. Katie Brannan. Kaylee Louise Brannan. Rachel Chamberlain. Rebecca Alice Cole. Cheryl Dalton. Laura Darby. Zoe Davis. Talia de Castro Rodriguez. Rebecca Dixon. Amy Jo Dutton. Leanne Marie Eccles. Julie Ann Elizabeth Eakins. Tracy Sarah Felton. Tara Flynn. Sophie Gaskell. Sarah Gibbons. Ray Gould. Tori Louise Green. Jacqueline Hales. Michelle Gemma Haycock. Yasmin Hesketh. Ashley Marie Hayes. Jennifer Hutchinson. Bogdan Ayadarch. Ashley Louise Jackson. Kirsty Gale Jackson. Nicola Jane Jenkins. Bethany Johnson. Danielle Jones. Joanna Marie Jones. Heather Kearney. Shannon Kenny. Sophie Kilshaw. Stacey Louise Ledbetter. Deborah Martin. Grace Mason. Jessica McKenzie. Angela McEwen. Lisa Catherine Milner. Rosie Moat. Samantha Moffat. Laura Murray. Sorin Musat. Thomas Parker. Natalie Payne. Julie Proctor. Catherine Rainford. Claire Reid. Emma Riding. Katie Spate. James Choi. Lucy Weymouth. Kelly Ellen Wilson. Francesca Louise Wooler. That concludes the presentation of awards from the School of Social Work, Care and Community.
Vice-Chancellor, the presentations are completed. I call on Lily Green, Campaigns Officer from the Students' Union of the University of Central Lancashire, to respond on behalf of those awarded today.
Vice-Chancellor, graduates, families, friends, loved ones, it is my honour to stand here before you today and speak on behalf of students. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you on this incredible achievement. However, we must recognise that university is more than just the exams, it is more than just the assignments. It's more than the price paid to better our future, it's more than the piece of paper that we get at the end, because university is an unforgettable experience. The people that you've met and the memories that you have created together makes every one of your journeys to graduation unique and special. For most of us, studying is only one part of university life, and whether you became a course rep, joined a society, played in a sports team, or volunteered in a project that you truly cared about, it has moulded you into the graduate that you are today. Many of you have taken different paths to get here, but what is very special is that we're all in the same room, walking across the same stage, graduating together. As graduates of UCLan, every one of you strengthens this university's worldwide alumni network. Today's award is a landmark in both your personal and your professional development and really is a stepping stone to your future success. The world at this moment in time may seem like a scary place, and it may feel like you're heading towards a place of uncertainty. The most natural thing to do would be to stay in your comfort zone, but don't. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. So now is the time to aim higher, take advantage of every opportunity presented to you, and take on challenges, because the degree that you hold in your hands today is really just the beginning. And remember, cheesy although it is, if plan A doesn't work, there are 25 other letters in the alphabet, so keep going. Last but not least, I would like to thank the families, friends and loved ones that have supported you throughout your UCLan journey and are with you today. And of course, the university staff whose dedication has allowed us all to succeed. I wish you all the best for the future, class of 2017. Now please go and celebrate because you truly deserve it.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the University of Central Lancashire's Chamber Choir. The members of the University Chamber Choir are all students of music theatre within the School of Journalism, Media and Performance. The choir is directed by the university's musician-in-residence, Mark Goggins. The university is extremely proud of the growing reputation and success of the choir. In recent years, the choir has won national competitions, including the BBC Radio 3 Adult Choir of the Year. The chamber choir has performed on BBC One, BBC 4 and on BBC Radio 3, as well as many local civic and fundraising events, including concerts with local schools and colleges. Overseas performances include singing at one of our partner institutions in Shanghai. This afternoon, the chamber choir will sing What a Wonderful World by George Weiss and Bob Teal. The choir began rehearsing this song on the 22nd of May. The following day, as we all learned the full horror of the terror attack in Manchester, the choir continued rehearsing. Since then, What a Wonderful World has become, for the choir, a song of celebration of all that is good in the world and an anthem of defiance against those who seek to threaten our freedom.
Trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. There are much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see trees of green and red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a myself.
Today is, of course, a day of great celebration for everyone here, and we need to celebrate in an appropriate way. Friends and family, there's a good photo opportunity coming up, so you might want to get your cameras at the ready. Could I please ask all the graduates to stand? And please take off your mortarboards. I know this will be a great relief to some of you, as I've seen that many of them have been balancing precariously on your heads. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to wave your mortarboard in the air, but please don't let go of it, and please don't hit the person next to you. So on a count of 3, I want you to wave your mortarboards in the air, and at the same time, I want everyone else to cheer 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Please be seated. As we bring this ceremony to a close, I would like to thank everyone who has been involved in making today such a happy and memorable occasion. And thank you for coming and for sharing this special day with the university community. I would like to invite you all to return to a reception at the university's Students' Union building, where we will continue to celebrate the success of today's graduates. Gowns can be left at the atrium in the Students' Union after the event. Please may I ask you all to stand now for the national anthem. Please be seated. The platform party will now leave the stage and form a celebratory guard of honour. We are going to conclude the ceremony with a final opportunity to applaud the success of today's graduates. Graduates, you will shortly be processing out of the hall. A university usher will prompt your row when you need to stand up. Please make sure you take all of your belongings with you. Guests, please may I ask that you all remain seated until the platform party has left the hall. You will be able to rejoin your graduate downstairs. Thank you.